Let's set the scene. You've gone to the river to do a little fishing on a hard-earned day off, but when you get there, the wind is blowing like crazy. And even worse, it's blowing downstream, right across your casting shoulder. Now, a strong wind is always going to make casting very difficult, but that's especially the case if it's coming across your casting shoulder, your right shoulder if you're a right-handed caster, or your left shoulder if you're a left-handed caster. But you don't want to just give up and go home, so you decide to stick around and try a few casts. Because the wind and the bright sunlight are going to preclude any dry fly fishing, you set up a nymph rig and get ready to start casting. However, you find that your first few casts are just getting blown right back at you. They're being blown towards your body, risking being impaled by your own fly, and the casts just aren't going where you want them to go. And then boom, a tangle. It's time to rethink your approach. But what can you do differently? One strategy that I've found to be effective in these types of situations is to actually turn your body and face downstream. You're now making your forward cast in a downstream direction, and it's actually your back cast that you drop into the water to fish. Let's speed things up again and take another look. Notice that I'm just making a single forward cast downstream without any false casting. False casting will get you into trouble. And then turning my body upstream, keeping the back cast low to the water and letting it drop into the water out and above my fishing position. One cast downstream, turn the body, drop the back cast. Let's look at it again from a side perspective. You can see I'm casting downstream, and then boom, the back cast goes upstream and out. A lot of power in that back cast to get it to cut through the wind. Let's look at it one more time here. You can almost just flip the line into the air and let the wind load the rod, and then make that upstream what we're calling a back cast. Just as a side note, this technique can also come in handy if you've got a lot of brush behind you and you keep catching your flies in the willows. You can make that cast downstream and watch it to make sure it stays out of the bushes, and then make an upstream back cast that lands where you want to fish. Here I just kind of flip the line into the air to load the rod and then make that back cast. Let my nymphs drift in the current. And pay off. Hopefully your line management is a little better than mine is here. I'll blame the wind, but somehow I hold on to this fish. A nice jumping rainbow there. And it's a fish I would have been unlikely to catch at all if I had continued casting in the normal fashion. So consider giving this technique a try the next time you're out on a really windy day, especially when the wind is blowing downstream. Into the net. So as you can see, this technique of casting backwards in a strong wind can have good results. It's certainly better than just packing it in and going home when you find kind of adverse conditions on the river. Until next time, I'm Dan Jagan.